Meanwhile, the Trump administration is working to shrink the Department of Education, and the impact will go beyond public school education. We're talking about student loan borrowers. They're dealing now with a different set of rules for repayment. So I want to bring in loan expert Jack Wallace to help break down these changes. Good morning.
Good morning to you and to your viewers.
Let me ask you first off, I understand these changes we're talking about are a result of the United States Supreme Court deciding about the former president's SAVE program. Help us understand the details here.
Well, we've actually had four decisions by federal courts over the last year and a half against the Biden administration forgiveness program. The most recent of which was the Court of Appeals, the Eighth Circuit, about 2 weeks ago, which has just recently impacted people's ability to complete forms for various repayment programs like ICR, IBR, Pay As You Earn, and SAVE. So the reason for that is that the department had to take down the website applications in order to comply with the uh, court order, which they were doing right now, and then we should see some of that stuff go back up. But because the stuff in the Biden administration was not done through an act of Congress, he went around Congress. That's why they've had four challenges to what he did, and they lost on all four challenges.
Let's talk about these programs in particular right now that are on pause. What were they designed to do and help us understand what is no longer accessible for student loan borrowers?
Well, what it did was it accelerated the period of time that you would be forgiven from 20 and 25 years down to 10. It would reduce the number of or percentage of your income that you would pay. So you pay less and you get forgiveness sooner.
How popular were these programs? I mean, really help us get our arms around how many people are going to be impacted with these decisions.
Well, you have right now about 46 million Americans that have federal student loans. The only number that I have that's recent is the SAVE program. The department had put about 8 million borrowers into that category. But the other ICR, IBR, pay as you earn, I don't have numbers on that, but it was 8 million for the SAVE program.
I can imagine that if you're trying to repay some student loans right now, it could be kind of like whiplash. A lot of confusion, not understanding what's going on. We know it's not an option necessarily to just stop paying, but if you've got these loans, you thought you were going to be able to get some forgiveness. Now you're not. I mean, you understand what the position is for these people and what should they do now?
Well, you bring up a couple of good points, Brianna. One is that starting April 1st, if you're 91 days delinquent on your federal student loan, you're going to get reported to the credit bureaus for the first time in 5 years. And that's something you don't want to have happen. And so you're going to see if you're going to go buy a car or get an apartment or get a mortgage or get another credit card, you could see your credit score dropped precipitously, number one. Number two, 41% of those 43, 46 million people with federal student loans are not paying a dime and haven't for 5 years. Some of them who graduated during COVID have never repaid a student loan dollar. So it's very important not to ignore the notices that you're getting from your servicer. It's important to go to look at www.studentaid.gov and stay abreast of when they reinstate the consolidation program and the income-driven repayment program applications, which we expect, based upon the meetings I had last week in Washington, to be in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, some really good information there. I also want to ask you while we've got you, we know President Donald Trump and his newly confirmed education secretary have talked about the goal of completely shutting down the Department of Education. If that were to happen, what does that mean for student loans?
Well, two things. One is they can't shut down a department unless they get 60 votes in the Senate. There's only 53 Republicans, and I don't think all 53 would vote to shut it down. So what you're going to see is an orderly unwinding of the department. You're going to see perhaps the most popular topic has been moving student loans to Treasury. Although in the last week or so, we've heard them talking about the SBA or the Department of Commerce. You could see the Civil Rights Division go over to Pam Bundy over in the Justice Department because she's got a big civil rights department. You could see some of the other programs go back to what is HHS now, Health and Human Services, but was HEW before Carter created the program, the department in 1980. And then there's another couple of programs that could go over to the agriculture department and then have some of the stuff stay at a department, but have K through 12, as you mentioned, going back to the states and the counties in a block grant type of program. So the money goes directly to the states and the counties.
All right, so these loans won't just disappear. They will likely just get shifted to another department. Lots of good
Right.
information. We appreciate your time and your insight this morning. Thank you so much, Jack.
Great to be with you and your viewers. Thank you.